Thanks for staying with us on the SportsMax Zone. The Caribbean continues to be a desired location for regional and international sporting events. Some of the world's best talent have competed in the region, and with major events like the 2024 T20 World Cup and the World Relays in Athletics set to grace our shores once again, more world stars are expected to parade their skills across the Caribbean. To ensure those stars can leave feeling fulfilled by the experience, the events must be planned professionally, ensuring as few mishaps as possible. Bernadette Albert, a university lecturer and event management specialist who has helped to plan events for CONCACAF and was part of the 2007 Cricket World Cup Planning Committee in the West Indies, has written a book highlighting best practices in event planning management. The book, entitled Event Planning and Management Principles, Planning and Practice, is the third edition. Mrs. Albert joins us to discuss her book. Bernadette Albert, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Good evening.
Give us an overview of this book.
Well, this book is in its third edition, and it has had a complete rewrite from the first and second edition. What it really does is it provides event practitioners with a guide, as well as providing them with the theoretical background to planning events. It also gives them tips and tricks. It has lots of case studies in it from all over the world, from different sectors, as well as providing tools, actual tools like checklists, risk assessments, and those sorts of things to help those who are working in the sector plan their events better.
Yeah, give me some specifics as it relates to, and I know you probably don't want to give too much away because we want individuals to, of course, buy the book. But give us some specifics as it relates to some of the more important best practices when it comes on to planning and execution of events.
Okay, well, I'll start simply by saying setting aims and objectives are very, very important. Events have multiple stakeholders who have different aims and objectives. So even from the beginning, when we start, we have to do research to figure out what type of events are we running, what sort of aims and objectives are we setting. Very often we forget that we need to be able to evaluate at the end of an event. And if we don't set aims and objectives, which is the primary thing you need to do, that is really, really important. Also, thinking about what is very, very important in terms of managing health and safety, that is critical. And particularly as we open our shores to those international clientele that want to visit for not only sporting events, but the other events that the region hosts, we need to think very, very critically about health and safety management, keeping people safe when they come on our site. So that's something else that's really important. The planning process itself, using a strategic approach to planning. Very often, we go out into these events and we forget these little details. But if we use a specific strategic planning process, we know that we're not going to forget those little details. And when we stage our events, we have less mishaps to deal with, as you so eloquently put it. We're only dealing with those things that happen that are out of our control. So without giving too much away, that is in a nutshell, some of the most important things. And of course, finance, managing your budgets, and actually, if you're out to make money, making money at your events as well.
Yeah, why did you see it as important to write this book? And as you pointed out, it's in the third edition. And speak to me as well from a standpoint of your experience working regionally with sporting organizations. And just talk to me about, the shortcomings that you might have seen that would have led you to this point.
Well, before I talk about our shortcomings in the region, we Caribbean people are creative and innovative people. We can create things out of next to nothing. So let's start with that. So we are really skilled at actually planning these events and staging them. What we lack is this method. There's a method to what we're doing. And I think a lot of people have learned events through vicarious means. So either they just plan events because they enjoy it and they think they have an aptitude towards it, or they have learned from someone who has not had formalized training. And that's where we encounter working hard rather than smart. So we don't use our resources wisely. We expend more energy than we should. So I think when we talk about some of the pitfalls of running events without structure, without professionalization, and without training, this is what we encounter. So the book actually lends itself not only to people who are already working in the sector, those who have had training, but also those who want to enter the sector as well. So yes, we our creativity as Caribbean people is our superpower. Our innovation and our ability to create something out of nothing, that is our superpower. But now we need to add some method to that magic that we have. And I think this is what the book supports people in doing, providing them with a framework within which to operate more professionally, at a higher quality, and at an international level. I think one of our pitfalls is we now invite international people into the region. They are used to functioning within an environment that is where events are delivered at a particular quality, in a particular way, observing particular health and safety protocols, etc. So we now have to start mimicking that for them so that they realize that not only we have the magic of the region and our people, we also have the expertise to deliver events in the same way as they do wherever they're from.
Definitely. And Bernadette, the book is in its third edition. So what's different? What have you added to this third edition that, viewers can't afford to miss out on?
Well, of course, post-COVID-19, the event sector has changed considerably. There's been a hybridization of events where a lot of events are now delivered not only live, but also virtually. So that's one of the things that the book acknowledges, that there has been a massive transition and hybridization from just live events to live and virtual. So that's one thing it takes into consideration. The event planning model has been rewritten completely and restructured to facilitate some of the aspects that the first and second editions didn't have. Also, we have got numerous case studies in there. We have something called tips and tricks, where event managers who are practicing now in the sector have given their advice to those using the book in terms of, again, working smart rather than hard, and some of those pitfalls that every event professional may encounter. So as you go through the book, you find not only the content, the information about events, but also you find the tools and the principles and actually some of the practice itself.
And where can I find the book? If we want to get the book, is it available online? Do we head across to Amazon, or is it only available in bookstores?
No, definitely available on Amazon. So you can go straight to Amazon. You can either buy a brand new edition, hard copy, soft copy, or a second-hand copy. Hopefully there are not too many second-hand copies there because everybody wants to hold on to their copy. But also you can get it from Kogan Page, who are the publishers. And very often if you go directly to Kogan Page, you can get a discount. So shameless plug there, go to Kogan Page. You could actually get a discount, so you get it cheaper from the publisher than you would on Amazon. And other bookstores also host it. So if you just type in Google, Event Planning and Management, Principles, Planning and Practice, third edition, you'll find numerous sites where you can get it. It is a book that is used not only in universities, but for event practitioners as well. So it is widely available.
Yeah, Bernadette Albert, thank you very much for joining us and just giving us a synopsis of what the book is really about, and it really does sound interesting. I am now really looking forward to the copy that's going to be sent to the entire SportsMax team for us to read and talk about. So thank you in advance for that copy, and thank you very much for joining us on the show today.
You're welcome, Ricardo. Thank you so much for having me, and have a great evening.
All right, Bernadette Albert there. Go and check it out. Event Planning and Management. We have to manage a break and then come back with Interactive.